tested Claude with 4 different front-end simulation challenges. I want you to evaluate how good the task is and how good the result from Claude 3.7 Sonnet. For this task, I decided to keep it simple and then use only HTML because Claude can render it as Claude artifact so that it is easier for us to see how it looks. And for a couple of tasks here, I also compared it with O3 Mini and also O1 to see how OpenAI would do the same task. And you might be surprised to see the comparison between all these things. First of all, we're going to start with this animated weather card. So this is what Claude did it for me. The prompt is create a single HTML file containing CSS and JavaScript, and then you describe the detail of what you want. And look at this amazing detail that it has given me. So I can stop everything, which will basically stop all the animation. So now the wind is not blowing, the rain is not raining, and the sun is not glowing, and the snow is not falling. But the moment I go ahead and then say start everything, you can see the wind is slowly moving and there is raindrops coming, the sun is glowing, and I don't know if the snow is falling. Maybe the snow is not falling. But it is an amazing card. You can see all the details in here and it is quite amazing. I gave the same task to ChatGPT O3 Mini High. This is like the extended thinking version of O3 Mini, and this is what O3 Mini High did. I mean, I'm not kidding. It is the same prompt. I just gave it to O3 Mini, and you can see here it is exactly the same prompt, and O3 Mini somehow decided that this is what it is going to give me. It is quite funny to see the comparison. It is like, I've asked a kindergarten kid to draw the same thing, and that is like a proper front-end developer who has designed something. It's a very weird to see the comparison, and I've got one more surprise for you. The next thing is after the weather card, I've given Claude an existing artifact, which was a Sudoku game I found online, and then I asked Claude to remix it, like recreate it, and then this is what Claude did. So you can see the Claude 3.7 Sonnet. You can go here, click new game, and then easy, medium, hard. You've got 3 different levels. You can reset it, you can undo it. It has a timer in it. You can get hint if you want. So this entire Sudoku is created by Claude 3.7 Sonnet 0 shot. For example, I can select easy, new game, then go here and then say maybe this is 9, I guess. I don't know, maybe 9 is right. So you can just go here and then see the Sudoku game. The next one is a simple traffic light simulator. If you have done computer science, this is one of the things that people usually ask you to do, like a lift simulator or a traffic light simulator. This does not have any intelligent algorithm behind it. It's something that I would have loved to see Claude doing it. But for now, it just simply obeyed my instruction and then said, okay, create an HTML file that simulates a traffic light system. It should have 3 states, red, yellow, green, with distinct animation, and it should have auto cycling. It should have a dark mode. So you can see here, I've got auto cycling here. I don't think there is a toggle for we just did not give a toggle. It just has a dark background, and you can see, okay, I can go to the next slide, I can simulate it, and there is a glow just like we gave in the description, and you can also auto cycle it. So which means yellow would become green, green would become red. Only thing is it doesn't have any intelligent algorithm behind it, which we could have tried. This is like a classical computer science algorithm question that you get asked in an interview. I also wanted to try a lift simulator, but my number of tokens ran out of it before I could do it. So this is again something that Claude 3.7 Sonnet nailed absolutely perfectly. And the final one in this list is, I heard nobody has nailed it ever, and I gave the exact same prompt to OpenAI O1. This is like the flagship model, not O3. O1, their best thinking model, which Claude 3.7 Sonnet also compared with the benchmarks. So one thing that you have to keep in mind is I'm using Claude 3.7 Sonnet without extended thinking mode, and O1 here can think. In fact, it reasoned for 27 seconds here, and it decided to create this beautiful clock for me. And what is my question? My question is that I want to have a single HTML file where you have got the hours take and the minutes take, and I should have the ability to hold this and then rotate it. And the moment I rotate it, the time should actually change. So what I'm intending to see here is that, okay, first of all, can I have the movement there? Second of all, does the time change? Third of all, does it stick to the physics of the time? Like, does it have the exact time that we would see in our analog clock? And I wanted to have a toggle button for dark mode and light mode. So what OpenAI has nailed perfectly is the toggle button. You can see the toggle is working absolutely fine. There is like a bit of glow there. It's almost like a solar eclipse. But everything other than this is complete crap. You can see there is no time. I can't see time here, and it almost looks so weird. Now getting back to Claude 3.7 Sonnet, Claude 3.7 Sonnet created this without even having extended thinking. It is just zero shot. Develop a single HTML file that displays an analog clock showing time. Help me manually turn the text by dragging them with mouse interactively and play with them. Make sure to add a dark mode and a light mode. I didn't even mention the toggle. Okay, so you can see here this, and I've got a toggle for dark mode and a light mode, and the clock looks absolutely stunning. Personally for me, I've always liked the small ticks inside it. And you've got this, okay, it says 9, 9, 10. Okay, so I'm going to just rotate it, and it became 9:50. Not exactly the right time, I would say. The time doesn't keep well. You can see it doesn't show the right time, but I think relatively what it shows with the current time, it moves, but it doesn't obey the time correctly. But everything else other than sticking to the time is something that it does a perfect job. So you can see here, but if you move the analog clock, you can see relatively it does a pretty good job. So this is like 28:30. So I'm moving like 15 minutes, and after 15 minutes, you can see it is 45. So it does a relatively good job for whatever time it shows. The time, the analog and digital, there is like a disconnect. But if you just ignore this for a moment, it does a pretty good job. I wouldn't say like a 100% perfectly nailed job, but it still is much better than any other large language model that can do this particular job. Let me know what you think about these experiments. I would love to conduct more experiments with Claude 3.7 Sonnet and other LLMs to see. But I found it pretty fascinating to compare the latest model from Anthropic and also like the flagship model from OpenAI. You might argue that the flagship model from OpenAI is O3, but I felt that O3 Mini High and also O1 should have a much higher bar than the model that was launched just today. And it is very fascinating to see the difference in the tasks that we picked. Let me know what you think about these models. See you in another video. Happy prompting.